Spider-Man brand, New Day spends most of its story making Jean Grey look like the villain because she steals control of people, turns heroes into weapons, and attacks damage control while searching for something called VMAX. At first, VMAX sounds like a machine, a secret project, or a superweapon, but the ending reveals that it was none of those things. It was the final message sent by Jean's sister before she died. And once you understand what Sara was trying to show her, every attack looks different. So why was Jean attacking damage control? What did VMAX mean? And why did Peter become the only person capable of bringing her back? Major spoilers begin now. Before we move ahead, if you're enjoying the video so far, make sure to like the video, subscribe to channel, and share it with a friend who enjoys this kind of content. Also, comment below and tell me your favorite part of the video so far. When the mysterious telepath first appears, nobody knows who she is because she rarely attacks in her own body. Instead, she moves through other people's minds, possesses civilians, and takes control of MJ, Hulk, and the Punisher to reach damage control. Peter discovers that she is Jean Grey, while damage control presents her as a dangerous mutant hunting VMAX, and Peter initially believes them. He creates an inhibitor, shuts down Jean's powers, and helps Bill Metzger capture her. But before losing consciousness, Jean says one name Sara. Peter learns that Sara Grey is Jean's older sister, and that damage control captured her before forcing her through experiments designed to weaponize her psychic abilities. Sara dies during those experiments, but before dying, she sends Jean one final message. VMAX, Jean believes it must be a device, project, or location connected to Sara, and that belief drives every attack. She is not trying to conquer New York, she still believes she is completing a rescue. By helping Metzger capture Jean, Peter has returned a victim to the organization responsible for Sara's death. When he learns the truth, Peter races to the facility where Jean faces the same experiment, and that is where she finally understands VMAX. The word comes from a damaged VentMax label on an air vent, where faded letters leave only VMAX. It was never a weapon, it was simply the final thing Sara could see before she died. Jean realizes every attack has only led her to proof that she arrived too late, and the hope keeping her moving disappears. Her grief erupts through her powers, paralyzing part of New York and turning members of the Hand against Spider-Man. Peter fights his way toward her, but physical strength cannot solve this battle. Jean enters Peter's mind and finds his memory of Aunt May, showing her that being different does not make someone a weapon, and that loss does not have to be carried alone. For the first time, someone reaches Jean without trying to study, suppress, or use her. Then the Punisher fires at Jean. Peter senses the bullet and moves into its path, proving that he believes she is worth saving. Jean keeps Peter alive until Frank takes him to hospital, and after Peter recovers, she leaves by bus for an unknown destination. Her destination and any X-Men or Phoenix connection remain unconfirmed. Now the deeper meaning begins. Jean believes she is searching for VMAX, but Brand New Day shows that her real struggle is with the one reality even her powers cannot change. Sara is already gone. Jean can enter almost anyone's mind, control another body, and force the world around her to stop, yet she cannot return to the moment before her sister died. That is why control becomes the center of her breakdown, because when someone feels powerless, controlling everything else can briefly hide the truth that what matters most cannot be repaired. Jean possesses strangers, heroes, and eventually part of the city because her power keeps expanding around a loss she cannot accept. But the movie does not excuse her because Jean violates innocent minds and places thousands of lives in danger. Her grief explains her actions, but it does not erase the damage. Damage control responds with cages and experiments, while the Punisher responds with a bullet. but Peter becomes the only person who reaches her without treating her like a machine or a target. Jean is also a mirror of Peter. Peter fears that his changing powers will erase Peter Parker, while Jean allows grief and psychic control to erase the boundaries between herself and everyone around her. Both characters fear becoming only their power. Peter reaches Jean because he has started accepting both sides of himself, and by opening his mind, he gives Jean the same possibility. She can carry extraordinary power without becoming only that power. And that is the unseen pattern behind Jean Grey's story. VMAX is not really a weapon mystery, it is the final image of a person reduced to an experiment. And Jean searches for its meaning because accepting the truth means accepting that Sara cannot be rescued. Jean Grey can enter almost anyone's mind, but she begins to return only when someone finally enters her pain.